Alright, let's go for it. Hey, my name's Dave, it's Mountain Branch Music. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to do a speaker shootout. Um, Oddly, it's one of the things I enjoy listening to lately when I'm like browsing around looking at stuff. It's kind of fascinating to me. So I thought it'd be fun to do something for kind of the jam world community. I'm going to use this guitar today. It's a Core PRS, just because it's something I feel most everyone has played. And it's still kind of in that jammy world. It's good quality. No one's gonna be skeptical about it based on that. So I got 4 speakers I want to run today. I've got my Champ 12, which I like because it's the right size. It's a 12-inch speaker. I can take it on gigs. It's nice in here. So I thought it was worth trying a couple different speakers. So I have a different speaker in that cabinet, in the amp itself, in that cabinet, and the bottom one with the silver dust cap, which you might have a guess what it is. But I'm not going to tell you what they are right now. So I'm just going to hook them up. I'm going to play some. I'm going to do some loops. So there will be some content that's the same, but I'm not going to do it all loops, even though that would be the best like A-B comparison. Just because to me, part of the way of playing gear and playing with different stuff is like what do you hear differently? What does it bring out of you, and how do you what's talking to you when you're trying different stuff. So with that, we'll get right to it. And then so we'll do some octave, we'll do some envelope, we'll do all my normal gain stuff, which is a Silvermod tube screamer into a Ross compressor into a Danelectro Cool Cat version 1. And then there's some mod and delay stuff in there too. But that's kind of the tone stuff. So let's get going. Off. That's just the tube screamer. Here's the Ross. A little boosted. Let me cut the level a little bit. Add the gain after the compressor. Take out the tube screamer. I do have flats on this guitar. Let's do some of the envelope filter stuff. Alright, so we'll take a pause from that. I'm going to switch the speakers, and we'll be right back. Alright, and just like that, we're back. I got the loop going. We are now in this cabinet down here. And then the loop is up already. I'll turn it off for a second. This is the Keeley Neutrino. For a long time I was a proton guy for the, I do have a vintage Neutron kicking around, but I know Robert's been making friends on the PGH page lately. Sounds nice. I was expecting the first speaker to be the winner, and so all will be revealed momentarily, but we're going to do the silver capped speaker next. Alright, we're back. The front loaded silver tabbed speaker, silver tabbed and silver dust capped aluminum dust cap, aluminum edge wound voice coil, if that clues you in anymore. But if you're not a total speaker nerd, none of those little references are going to make sense, but you will learn at the end of the video what all these speakers are. I'll just play a little bit without the loop. Now the thing, as I think about this, I'm not sure I could fit that speaker in the Champ 12, and it has a heavy magnet, so I got the Ross receiving the Silver Mod Tube Screamer. That's two compressors, or two drives, and the compressor on here is just the Neutrino. funny thing is, a lot of the speaker demos are done by the metal guys, which, I mean, granted, they push all the frequencies because everything's saturated and there's a lot of thump. But it's like if you're running like a jam band influence stuff with all the octaves and envelope filters and stuff, it's a pretty good test too. Yeah, so that's it. That was pretty impressive too. That was, I like how it handled the overdrive. Into our trusty SM58. These are different overdrive, Tube Screamer. Both of them. Tube Screamer off. All right, we got one more speaker left. That's the speaker that's in the Champ right now. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back. The loop is going. So this is the speaker that's in there right now. I know the enclosures make a difference, the cabinets make a difference, but they're all pretty small 1x12 enclosures. We are getting some room sound from the vocal mic, which I switched headphones to this kind. I had the old pink pair from my oldest videos on here, where this brand, and then my cat ate up the wires, and so I was getting frustrated with that one. It's making other purchases online. You know how it is. They make it easy to throw it in your cart. So I think I'm pretty happy so far. Sounds better in my ears too. But so let's stop this and let's do some standalone stuff. So that's a Tube Screamer going into the Ross now. That was the second pedal. Do some envelope stuff. Here's the bass. Alright, so I don't know if that speaker really inspired that, but it was what happened. Ah, cool. So, man, I was thinking while I was jamming away there, I got my first performance in Alabama next week, so I might have some clips from jamming with some friends. Kind of, I don't know how it's going to go. We'll see. It might be some solo stuff with DJ stuff. It might be some jams to share. So, the big reveal. Oh, and I was thinking that because it was like, oh, weird. Fish is playing the first time in Birmingham forever. I was living in Texas for a long time, and Fish didn't come through. I was like in Texas and Oklahoma for like 5 or 6 years, and there were no Fish shows. So, but I got to night 3 in Manchester, the Tweezer night. Oh man, it was good. It was fun to get out to, and then. So, the first speaker in the white cabinet, in the monoprice stage right cabinet, is a Celestion 30, not the vintage 30. It's the anniversary, the H30, 30th anniversary. So it's a true 30-watt speaker. This was a Helitone one I picked up off of Facebook Marketplace. So it's been broken in a lot. It does have a darker high end, they say. I don't know if you noticed that. Maybe I'll put together a little back-to-back clip of some of this stuff at the end of the video. The second one we did in the bottom center, the Celestion Vintage 30. So I kind of wish Trey would be going back to those, the 65-watt ones he's got in there. Probably closer to what Led Zeppelin used, but man, to me, Trey's already his own icon. Like his sound, like the vintage 30s in those old cabinets were just so epic. And I think he's lost a little clarity since moving to the 65s, but that's just between you and me. After that, the silver cap, that is an E120 JBL. And then in there right now, since it's Independence Day weekend when I'm recording this, and it's just been in that amp for a while, and it's been in the last few videos with the infinite sustain test stuff I do. It's the Eminence Red, White, and Blues, which is a American voice version of a Vintage 30, which I thought actually, you know, as I was going through these, each was kind of my favorite. But then the Eminence, I think it's gonna ride in there for a while because it barely fits. I brought it to a shop and they wouldn't install it because it was a pain in the ass. And then, so I don't even know if any of these others would fit. The H30 and the Vintage 30 are about the same size. Just different voicings. This is one of the Chinese Vintage 30s. It's right on the cusp. It should be one of the good ones they talk about. All the Celestions went back to UK making this year after being in China for like 10 or 15 years. But they had a good run apparently around 2022 where people liked them better because they got a little less fizzy. That's in the date range where it should be a good one. But I just thought it sounded great, and I'm going to hear it more editing this in the cans. I'll probably hear it on AirPods, like most people I would think, checking out stuff online or some kind of wireless headphones. So, and the E120, sometimes they get fizzy. I also put, there's another JBL that I put in this other Mesa over here. And they do get fizzy with like proper distortion, but man, it handled the overdrive and compression. And really the E120s really seem to handle it. This other one, I think it was the M12, was designed for rock, like they were trying to capture the early hard rockers, like the early Van Halen inspired guitar players when they made that. Maybe I'll do another video on that at some point. But all the JBLs, it's really the high end. It's not so much, people say they're really bright, but to me it's very full range. So you're going to hear stuff you don't normally hear, and the balance up there, the contour on the very high frequencies, really anything, if you've been playing a lot of guitar loud, anything over 10,000 hertz is kind of, you just feel it more, or it affects how you perceive other frequencies more than you hear it as a note, definitely. But it sounded really good where I was standing. I mean, I'm getting the room noises really blocked out more by these ones, but they're on as monitors, so I'm hearing directly what's going into the speaker. But I hope you enjoyed that ride. I do want to say one other thing. This gets a lot easier. For testing purposes, I had a 20-foot speaker cable sitting around. So I cut it in half, and on one end I kept the original 1/4-inch plugs, and on the other end I put some speaker terminal jacks and alligator clips because the spade ones kind of vary in size, so I didn't want to put one size spade on there. And then, and even that, like I couldn't go from a speaker that was already installed to a speaker that didn't have a speaker out, to an amp that didn't have a speaker out. So this kind of stuff is like, once you think about it, you like go to Home Depot and spend $5, and then you don't have to like spend all day um, unmounting speakers and realizing that the output transformer is in the way and all that kind of stuff. So, word to the wise, if you have a spare speaker or even like a damaged speaker cable, like a lot of times they'll break. Well, speaker cables are tough when they break because they could mess up your amp. But if you have one where like the 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 jack, the plug on the 1/4 inch thing broke or some other kind of obvious damage, just cut it and then you can turn it into a testing cable. Or if you have this one, a 20-foot speaker cable, I might use in a silent stage situation, which I'm not playing the Sphere anytime soon or anything like that. So, and even before I ran a silent stage like that, I would just use a monitor and be fine with it because it's not that big of a deal. I'm not that big of a deal in that sense, but or any any gigs I play, I'm not why people are there. So anything I can contribute with my guitaringness is just icing on the cake. So, but it matters to me, and in my recording and all this stuff, I like to go for the best possible stuff. But best possible sound I can get. And yeah, when I'm doing local gigs, I like a nice tube amp that's portable. I'm not wasting my time or anybody else's time, and it's light, and I can get to the car in a trip or two, and it's all good. Also got some upcoming fun with that one, and a couple more guitars to get through. These are different or haven't been out, and this one we just did on the last Guitar Shoot app. Or sustain test demo thing. Hey, I'm talking a lot. I had my coffee this afternoon. It's been fun. That's the speakers. Celestion H30, Vintage 30, JBL E120, Red, White, and Blues, which I thought held up very well. I feel like that should be a jam band staple. I have no connection to any of these companies or whatsoever. But peace, y'all. Happy day.